Okay, it's about 2 o'clock on 6/27/12. Let's see if today's going to be a better day for doing videos than yesterday was. It was kind of trying yesterday. Anyway, I've got a message that I need to get out. This is kind of about what's going on the planet right now and why. And this is really for the Illuminati. And it's for anybody that doesn't understand Earth School and why we're here and what's actually going on. And Earth School's a school of duality, and it's a school that we've come here to have experiences within the lower dimensions that we couldn't possibly have in the higher dimensions, in oneness, in light, in unity. And at the deepest depths, Earth School is all about trying to find out the proper levels of negativity for conflict resolution. And conflict resolution is something that we do here in Earth School all day long, every day, everything we do. Years and years ago, and I'm talking many millennia, eons ago, as we came forth from Creator and we were told to divide and to experience all that is and then find our way back home. And finding our way back home in a universe that's all light, we would hit a certain level and we wouldn't be able to make up our minds. We wouldn't be able to make a decision because there was no negativity. And without negativity, you can't have conflict resolution. And the point of going forth and experiencing all that is to experience all that is so that God can know him, herself, itself. God is all that is. We are part of all that is. We are individual fragments of all that is. So we experienced all that we could in the levels without negativity, and we did this over a period of eternity. How do you describe eternity? How do you put years on eternity? Time is a manifestation of duality in this lower dimensional experience. In the higher dimensions, with eternal beings, which we all are, we don't experience time. But with an inability to make decisions in the higher realms, the Elohim, the planners of the universe, that which creation is made through and by, and we're all part at various levels. Everybody here on the planet, everything is a part of Elohim. And there happened to be some beings that came from an alternate negative universe, creating a wormhole, just like you see on Star Trek or any of these sci-fi movies. I mean, you can do that with vision. And a lot of people do things like that for their astral projections, but the wormholes are very real, and it's kind of like a Stargate. Stargate, same thing, but Stargates are fixed points, and wormholes are created like little tornadoes that go off into various places. And you never really know what's on the other side of a tornado or a wormhole like you would a Stargate. Stargate, you can. A Stargate is basically something that is, it's a technology where you can dial in where you want to go, and you create the same type of wormhole that takes you from this Stargate to the opposite Stargate there. But there was a group of negative beings we have heard about called the Men in Black, and they were in an alternate negative universe, and they created a wormhole that came into this universe and popped out in the Ryan area, and they came into this universe not knowing what was here and wanted to explore. And, I mean, we're all explorers. We're all doing this in our lives anyway. You know, there's a lot of us that have to always go up and see what's on the other side of the mountain, or explore the Arctics, or, you know, go into the wilderness or whatever. You know, we do that with technologies and inventions, and we do all types of explorations. That's what the human race is. That's what experience in the lower vibrations is. And anyway, these guys came in, and they by having so much negativity coming from a negative universe into a light universe where we didn't have any negativity. Now you wouldn't think anything of it. I mean, you see negativity all around, but back then it was kind of like, whoa, boom, there's all this vibration that is totally unusual for what was normal to experience. And the Elohim, realizing that there was, in the Elohim being all of us, I mean, we're all part of the Elohim, so you got to understand here, guys, we're not talking about anything separate from you. We're talking about you. We're talking about me. We're talking about all that is. We're talking about the history of how we got here. And we're talking to the Illuminati. That's what this video is about. Why we're here. Why we are experiencing what we're experiencing. Why you are doing what you're doing and have done what you've done, and thank you for what you've done. I know a lot of people are going to get upset with me saying thank you to the Illuminati, thank you to the dark side, but we have to have that dark side to experience the duality. So anyway, the men in black popped their way over, and the Elohim, you know, it caused ripples throughout this universe, and the Elohim went, wow, maybe this is the answer, the solution to what our problem is in having all this inability to make decisions and to find our way back to source. We can't ascend if we can't make a decision and decide what we're going to ascend to, what we're going to raise our consciousness to. Understand? So the Elohim, knowing that the negative beings had come into this universe, decided to try to integrate with them and see if we could have some souls pass through their negativity and experience whatever the outcome would be from that passing through of an opposite polarity that didn't normally exist. And there was a call out for souls that would come through the souls of the men in black, the dark ones, and pick up some of that negativity on them, and then have an experiment where we could explore the various realms of negativity and see if it's possible, see if these souls could handle having negativity on them, and see what all we could learn from it. If having negativity on light souls could actually create, patch an inability to make decisions. And so this was done, and the call went out throughout the universe for various souls to come join the experiment and to integrate in with these negative beings, the men in black. And basically it's kind of like being bipolar or schizo, or, you know, having a split personality. Those of us who heard the calling came through and we integrated, and some of us took up to 50%, some of us took more, I guess, some of us took less. And then we were placed in a part of the universe called, and part of this galaxy called Orion. And Orion became the place for the experiment of the battle of light and dark. It was the place of the duality experiment. In the northern part of Orion, you had the Lords of the Light, those that had not taken so much of negativity, or may not have taken any at all of the negativity. And then you had the transition point, which is Orion's belt, and then in the south, you had those negative beings that had gone through the souls of the men in black and were experimenting with the duality. And as we started inhabiting bodies as the souls, and you've got to think of these things as spirit and matter and all the various levels that it takes to experience all this. As the souls started inhabiting bodies and developing civilizations and technologies and playing with that duality, they started having very great technologies, just like we're getting to today here on this planet, and just like so many other extraterrestrial civilizations have. We've learned how to get off planet, and it takes a while to get through bodily experimentations and resource experimentations and all the things that you have to be able to get yourself developed as a civilization and all the various technologies, and then leave planet to find that there are others out there. There's others on every planet, asteroid, higher dimension, lower dimension. I mean, life is everywhere. But anyway, the lords of the light that were inhabiting the upper part of Orion, and the lords of the dark finally started finding each other, and conflict arose, and then it became an us against them battle of duality, and the same things that we've experienced for so long here on Earth School, and before in Atlantis, and before in Lemuria, and before in Mu, and before in Meldak, and we're here in this solar system because there in Orion, as we started having conflict, and we were jumping over the border in Orion's belt, we were, had weapons kind of like HARP and kind of like our atomic bombs, and we started blowing up planets. Boom! And that might blow up another planet. Boom! And, it's a chain reaction. What people don't understand is when you start dealing with the quantum levels, the atomic levels, kind of like hydrogen bombs and atomic bombs, and a lot of things that, we're focusing our energy, and that's some quantum level. But when you start dealing with those explosives and technologies that are warfare on the quantum level, you're starting to pop holes in various dimensions, and you're creating wormholes to other places in same solar system or galaxies, or even in other galaxies and other dimensions, and you're affecting a lot more than just where you are. And that's why when we started blowing up atomic bombs here in World War II, then all ATs started going, what the heck? They're going to do it again. And so anyway, we blew up a lot of planets, a lot of solar systems, a lot of things in Orion. We were wreaking a lot of havoc. And we're trying to figure out how much negativity was needed for conflict resolution in the higher dimensions where it's light and no duality. Well, yeah, you got duality, but it's not big duality. We're still in a unified consciousness trying to find our way home, although we're experiencing our individuality still. We're a little bit more like more civilized Borgs. We are individual, and no, we're not robotic or anything like that, not connected to machines, but we're still having individual lives in higher dimensions. And it's all about choice. You got free will. You can do whatever you want to do. But in the higher dimensions, without the negativity, we don't have all these games that we play here. And so that's why the Duality School has been a wonderful place to play. But it's been time to go home for a long time. Anyway, we started popping holes everywhere in Orion, and it was going to other galaxies and other parts of the universe and other universes, other alternate universes, and we were creating all kinds of havoc. And so after a while, it decided that we needed to find a place where this experiment could continue, but it could be contained.